いっぱいこの涙かき分けて君に全てをあげるからお願いどうか消えないでくれあの日守ると決めた約束はこの胸に消えそうな光だとしてもいけ
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Fitzmonk TV here, aka G-Lawrence33. I am back here today with your My Hero Academia Chapter 291 review. As always, I want to say thank you to my boy DBS Hype on Twitter for getting us the scans and the translations, man. And we are gonna pick off right where we left off, or pick up. I don't know why I said off, but we're gonna pick up right where we left off. Last week was a crazy chapter, one of the biggest revelations in the history of My Hero Academia. Dabi was finally revealed as Toya Todoroki, you know, the first son of Endeavor, brother of Shoto, man. And even though a lot of us have been calling this for a long time, just to finally have that theory confirmed was absolutely mind-blowing. And just to see the reaction on my videos and across the community was absolutely crazy, man. So, you know, we pick up, I don't know why I keep saying that. We pick up right where we left off, man. And last week was basically all story, and that continues here with this chapter. So the name of the chapter is Thank You for Being Fine, or you can also call it just the Toya Todoroki origin story, but either way works. So the chapter starts and it shows an image of little Toya, and you know, this little image to open up the chapter broke my heart. Just to see a young Dabi when he was happy and him just sitting there smiling absolutely just, you know, broke my heart. So the narration said that Toya died inside of a Sakito dance. So it's like some kind of fireproof room where Endeavor used to train his fire power. So basically the accident that happened, right, that caused everyone to believe that Toya had died, you know, Endeavor was not in the room when the accident happened, and the temperatures of the fire were around 20,600 degrees, which is absolutely ridiculous, you know. And we find out that when Endeavor and Ray, when they came to see if Toya had survived, they had found nothing. There was nothing left but a piece of Toya's lower jawbone. So basically, the reason why they never recognized Dabi as Toya is they believed there was nothing left of him. They didn't believe that there was a body, right? You know, all they found was basically ashes and atoms because the temperatures were so high. And it kind of makes sense. You know, we know even though Endeavor has a fire quirk, we saw right now he's sitting on the battlefield with a lung that's completely burnt. So he's having a lot of trouble breathing. So it's just mind-blowing to think how this is all making sense. So in the next scene, we see Endeavor and Toya. They're in a training room, and Endeavor notices that some part of Toya's hair had turned white. Toya didn't really give it any thought, but he jokes saying, "No way, I look like a grandpa." So, you know, funny times with a young Toya and Endeavor. And he told Endeavor just to move on and teach him the ultimate move. So Toya was described as someone with firepower that was even higher than Endeavor's, even though he didn't possess an ice quirk. Endeavor's dream, because of Ray, he wanted a child that had both ice quirk and a heat quirk, aka Shoto. Right? He believed that was the perfect combination because the ice quirk was the best way to balance off with the heat, especially when someone uses the heat and exposes themselves. And you can say the same thing vice versa. So I understand why Endeavor wanted to have that perfect child so badly. But it is revealed to us that even though Toya didn't have an ice quirk, he still had hope, and he wanted to raise Toya as a hero because he believed that Toya having more firepower than him would give him that motivation to be a bigger hero than Endeavor and get rid of all that regret, all that jealousy that Endeavor had towards someone like All Might. So in a way, it's kind of crazy to think about that Endeavor wanted to raise Toya as a hero, and then he ends up actually becoming a huge villain that's killed people and is now part of the League of Villains. Absolutely wild. So Ray, Endeavor's wife, she suggests that they have another child. The reason for this is because the children can support each other, and that's how Fuyami was born. The second Todoroki, the female. So remember, Shoto was the last Todoroki to be born. So, but still, everything really changed with Endeavor's mindset once Toya, was supposedly killed in the accident. So it's kind of making sense. So we go back to the battlefield, and we see Endeavor still doesn't want to believe what Dabi is saying. He's still in shock and denial, right? We all know there's like 5 stages of grief. So we know Endeavor's in that shock phase right now, and he hasn't yet truly accepted what he's hearing. So Dabi challenged Endeavor to a DNA test, right? And we see the League of Villains, they are listening on. And the thing about it is, this is also the first time that they're hearing all of this. So even, maybe Shigaraki knew, we don't know. But at least the rest of the League of Villains, they had no idea about Dabi's shocking backstory. So this is crazy. So we also see, which is even more mind-blowing, there is a broadcast. So you guys remember in chapter 290, we saw that in Ray's hospital room, we saw the broadcast of Dabi revealing himself as Toya Todoroki. But now we find out that it's being broadcast to everybody across the nation of Japan. So everybody is seeing Dabi of the League of Villains reveal himself as the son of Endeavor, the brother of Shoto Todoroki. Crazy. And in the broadcast, he shows a DNA test result from the blood that he gained from Endeavor in Kusho, I believe. I might be pronouncing the name wrong, but if you guys remember, that's when Hawks and Endeavor teamed up to defeat that high-end Normue. You guys saw this at the end of season 4 in the anime just a couple months ago. So remember, Dabi did confront Endeavor there, and I guess that's where he got that DNA strand. And the test came back as a 99.99% match. So it confirmed and basically undisputed that Endeavor is the father of Dabi. Absolutely wild. So in the broadcast, he also explains his point of view towards Endeavor. He says that the way that Endeavor was excited for his masterpiece, which was Shoto, and remember, like I said earlier, Shoto was the last Todoroki to be born. All right, and saying that Endeavor never thought about anyone else but himself, and he asked the public if such a person is worthy of having the #1 title. And I want you guys to think about this for a second. One of the themes of this entire arc has been, the League of Villains wanted to destroy Hero Society as it's known. And we all know, once this arc ends, no matter if it's the villains, that win and they get away, or if somehow Deku and company are able to capture Shigaraki and get some kind of moral high ground, right? Some kind of victory, Hero Society is never going to be the same. There are tons of heroes that are dead. There's tons of citizens that are dead. There's tons of revelations being made, right? There is so much that's going to be called into question. You also got the UA students that have been heavily injured in this battle. How much are the parents going to have faith in UA after this? Everything's going to be changed now. And now you have the #1 hero, right? The #1 hero being exposed in front of the entire nation. It's very similar to when All Might was fighting All for One, and it was revealed that All Might had that his normal skinny form. It's mind blowing what's happening here in this arc, man. So I love what they're doing here. Dabi exposing his father and exposing Endeavor as the #1 hero. Crazy stuff. So we also see that the other Todorokis, Fuyami and Natsu, are watching the broadcast. Natsu is in complete shock looking at his phone. He can't believe what he's hearing. Remember, we know that I know I'm pronouncing names wrong, please forgive me, but Natsu and Toya, they had the best relationship out of all the siblings in the Todoroki family. So imagine how Natsu's feeling, how the brother that he loved so much, the guy that he blamed Endeavor for killing, now he's seeing that his dead brother, who he believed was dead, was alive all this time, and he's actually a villain. Absolutely wild. And we see that Fuyami, she's in a classroom, but it is shown that she was being called by a school staff. All right. We also see there's a kid. We saw him in previous chapters. He's watching at home with a friend. He cannot believe what he's seeing. And then Dabi also starts to expose Hawks. So Hawks is shown in this chapter. We briefly see him. He's in some kind of camp in the forest, and he is heavily injured, right? I do expect Hawks to survive, but I do not know if Hawks is going to be able to get back to work, after this is all over, man. Like, the injuries he suffered at the hands of Dabi were pretty significant. So we don't know what's going to happen with Hawks after all this is finished. But they show a video of Hawks killing twice. So somehow Dabi was able to get the footage of Hawks killing twice. And he tells the public that Hawks also killed Best Jeanist, even though we know that's not true, right? But that's what's being stated. So now you have the number 1 and the number 2 heroes being, basically exposed and put on this huge negative light in front of the entire nation of Japan, right? He also states that Hawks' father was a villain, all right? He was a serial killer and robber, and that Endeavor picked him up. So it's kind of crazy, right? Endeavor wanted to raise Dabi as a hero, all right? But Dabi turned into a villain. And Hawks' father was a villain, but Hawks became a hero. But the thing about it is, when this is all over, I do expect Endeavor and Hawks to both survive. But we don't know if I don't think they're going to be the number 1 and number 2 heroes after this. I don't. And it's just absolutely wild to think about. Right? But we see Dabi says that he cannot forgive Endeavor for being a person with such a dark background becoming a hero. So, Dabi, man, having no remorse for his father. So then we see Endeavor is still too shocked, right? He's in shock. He cannot move, and Shoto was, screaming at him to move back. He said that him and Najir will basically handle Dabi. Remember, these are basically the only 2 heroes that can do anything on the battlefield right now, because we know that Deku, Bakugo, Izawa, they're all out of commission at the moment. So Endeavor still is in shock. He's standing still, right? And Shoto's getting ready to attack his own brother. So Shoto versus Dabi. Ooh. But we see Dabi, he jumps off of Makia and he uses Prominence Burn. So he uses the move that Endeavor taught him as a child. The move that we've seen Endeavor use multiple times, right? His ultimate move. We see that Dabi uses on Prominence Burn, and he said that Endeavor, thank you for being fine until today, right? But before he can land the move, he gets caught with a wire. And in the last panel, another big reveal, I called this a couple of weeks ago, if you guys remember, I called this. We see Best Jeanist make an appearance, right? Best Jeanist finally appears. The guy that was in the helicopter a couple chapters back, I believe it was chapter 289. I told you guys it's most likely Best Jeanist, and I was right. I was right, man. Best Jeanist has finally made his return. Everyone thought he was dead, after the battle with All For One. But I told you guys, if we don't see the guy actually die, the guy's most likely alive, and they're saving him for something even bigger, man. And here he is, the last guy, the last hope for our heroes in this situation. So we see Best Jeanist, he appears, right, shocking everyone, and he says that today he will return to work starting today. So it's basically believed that Best Jeanist was in communication with Hawks, and they came up with this plan, and Best Jeanist was probably going to be the last resort, and here he is. And man, and think about it, it's just come to my mind now as I'm recording. Remember, Bakugo is there. And we know the connection between those two, and I cannot wait for next chapter. I cannot wait. I do want to say this, My Hero Academia will be on break next week. There will be no chapter, so we're gonna get a 2-week break. So huge cliffhanger with Best Jeanist finally making an appearance. Will Best Jeanist be able to stop Dabi? You know, will Shigaraki, remember, he's still there as well. It's kind of crazy to think about that the focus has been taken off of Shigaraki with this huge Dabi reveal, but we are near the end here, guys, and I cannot wait to see what happens. Another banger of a chapter. Even though it was more story based, I'm not complaining. I love what I'm seeing right now, and we are getting near the end of this arc, man. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What you guys thought of, Toya's origin story. What you guys thought of the return of Best Jeanist, man. And let me know, guys. We have 2 weeks, man. So let me know what you guys think is gonna happen. Will Best Jeanist get the victory? Will the League of Villains escape? Right? Will Deku get involved? What's gonna happen? I have no idea. But man, crazy stuff. The destruction of Hero Society right before our eyes. So let me know what you guys thought of the chapter. If you guys enjoyed the review, hit a like on the video. Also subscribe if you guys are new to the channel by hitting the button next to my name, Fitzmonk TV, so you guys are notified every time I post a new video. Follow me down on social media. The links are in the description down below. I'll see you guys later. Stay safe and healthy, y'all. Peace.